Right, there it goes. It has ended. Southampton 1, Arsenal 3. Um, we're feeling a little bit dejected here. I think. Do you think that scoreline flatters them a little? It didn't really feel like it was a game that we should have lost 3-1.
It 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 felt like it did. They didn't deserve to score 3 goals. However, we deserved to concede 3 with the passing that we did.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at it. It's not so much that they played well enough to beat us. It was we gave them everything they needed to do it.
right.
And it was from surprising players. Before going into the game, you thought Vokins and Valerie were going to be the weak points, but somehow it turned out to be Ward-Prowse and Stevens.
Yeah, Ward-Prowse didn't have a great game at all. It was
No.
quite a few wayward passes that ended up into intercepting Arsenal players. I mean, Arsenal played a much better game of football than they did on Saturday. They were a much better side,
Yeah.
but there were times when we were playing pretty decent football as well. But it was just like you said, those wayward passes is what cost us, and we got punished very, very badly for all of
But
them.
at the same time, though, in that first half, there were chances up front that we didn't put away. That free kick to Wings, Shea with that header straight at the keeper, and again a few times where Walcott hit it straight at the goalkeeper. It seems to be a bit of a finishing problem, I think, up front. Just to think,
Yeah.
just isn't right. Before the game, I said the game plan. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a bit more balls over the top. We were very concerned to see that they started doing that. That's all they were doing after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the passing was that bad.
It was pretty bad. I mean, Stevens coming here with massive lack of depth. Ings isn't right. Ings had a very quiet night tonight.
I think that too. I think there's something not quite right.
It was just it almost was like, roll it back a few months and he would create something out of nothing. And now he's not really doing that. Do you think there's any other particular changes in terms of the build-up play, in terms of the midfield? Is he missing Romeo? Is there a disconnect there?
You could say that, but that might be the case because Romeo's passes, you always knew where they were going to go, and they did help Danny a bit more. But I think Diallo again was one of the better players tonight. Diallo looked fantastic, and in fact, when Diallo had to go fullback, we lost something in the midfield. Like he was, and then
Agreed.
towards the end of the match, he made that little spurt forward. We were like, yeah, well, that's what we were missing in the midfield. It was probably at that point in the game, I probably would have rather Ward-Prowse go back than Diallo.
Yeah, we were kind of expecting to see Ward-Prowse go back in that position and maybe leave Diallo up, but there's lots of love in the chat section on the TikTok over here. Diallo played a good game of football, and then someone else saying Valerie needs to play C-team football. I didn't think Valerie had that bad of a game.
People really on it, Valerie. I don't think he really made any mistakes. I think some of his delivery into the box was really, really good.
Yeah.
I think some of the delivery in the box was good enough today for it to be finished and people get on the end of it. If Danny Ings of, like you say, a few months ago was getting those sort of balls in the box, he would be doing something with them. Or Shea, there just seems to be some sort of disconnect. And I kind of think it might be Theo.
Right.
I think Theo playing that attacking, he drifts into the centre a lot, and there were points today where it looked like we were playing 4-3-3. And then it was just too bunched up it was too bunched up in the middle, and then we kept on playing so directly down the middle. It was clear to see where we were going. It was only when the ball went out to the wing, we hit some crosses in, that it started to look a bit more deadly. And it was Valerie and Vokins making those crosses in, really. So
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, maybe all those games where we've played Theo walk up front, he's forgetting his position. He's pushing too far up the pitch. But
I think it's good that he's hungry and he wants to do that, and he thinks he can. He's proven that he can get into those positions, but he needs to understand that I think that if this game felt like Ralph wasn't there, it kind of felt like we weren't playing to Ralph's rules. We weren't playing to and that's when I see that, I'm like, but as early as 15 minutes in, when we're not doing the game plan.
No.
That was weird. Something needs to be adjusted here.
But we were coming under a lot of pressure trying to play it out from the back. I mean, that there were many, many occasions where it was looking very nervy at the back with Jack Stevens trying to play very close passes to their attacking front players. So yeah, quite something. Let me see. There was a comment here now. It's gone missing now. Here we go. Here it is from Lou. Not the result we wanted, but Arsenal are a form team in a league only behind City. It's a very good point. They've been playing pretty decent in the league and picking up an awful amount of points. I mean, they were in relegation form not so long ago, so caught them at the wrong time. So
yeah, it's annoying, really. But I mean, the other way to look at it is we did beat them on the weekend.
Yeah,
we did beat them a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
and we've advanced through that. So it's just that thing. It's a 50-50 thing. Like we drew against them, we've beaten them, and now we've lost against them, and we've lost against them in we play Shrewsbury at Arsenal. Like it's a few games on the concession. Not there's a lot of ways things to take away from that game to think this is why we lost.
Yeah,
but what we started with, there was enough there to get something more out of the game, and then and it was foundations that made us lose the game, like passing. So
yeah, passing and defending. They're just replaying the goals here, but yeah, I mean, arguably we scored more goals than we did on Saturday because the Saturday goal was an own goal.
Exactly.
But I've got no problems with the Pepe goal. Bit of a problem with the Saka goal in the sense that I just don't think McCarthy needs to come for it.
No, McCarthy. Like you look at him, McCarthy just needs to drop back and get back in a position and risk being chipped rather than like if you see the ball's going over your head, you can dive for that, and there's a chance you might maybe get it.
Yeah.
If you come out and you don't win that ball, that's going in, and it's your fault.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going out wide. He just doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, Vokins is doing the right thing, pushing him wide.
Yeah,
it's only Vokins only has to back off because he sees McCarthy charging at him.
But that pass at the end there from Cedric, where he picks up Saka. I mean, that looks like a goal we used to concede, doesn't it?
Yeah,
we used to concede those all day long.
So yeah, it's a tough game today because we all know that we should be beating Arsenal and we can beat Arsenal.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's nothing to get worried about. Again, I think games like Villa, this will be a tough game, and that'd be if we can get, I hope to get some points, 3 points out of that.
Yeah,
but I think
Villa are another team in form, though, aren't they?
They are. That is the problem. Villa.
They gave Man City a pretty decent game, and they could have come out of that with a point. I thought, had it not been for some dubious refereeing. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. A few more comments here. Evening, lads. I agree. I think Valerie had an all right game. Was creative going forward. I think defensively he still needs a lot of work, especially getting back. Agreed. I mean, I think when he came on against Liverpool, he looked very, very good going forward. But
then again, he was put. But then again, he was put in a forward position. Though he wasn't. He was
put in midfield.
He was brought on for that part of the field, and he does look great. He looks really, really good going forward. Yeah, you're right. But then again, he made some good tackles at the back there. But he put some good challenges in. I mean, it's just that pace of getting back. But then that's always going to be a problem when you've got fullbacks that play that high. That's kind of what Diallo and Ward-Prowse is for. So again, when you take them out of position, kind of seemed to me like we lost a lot from making Stuart Armstrong play in the middle. He was doing really, really well on the wing. There was some danger. He just disappeared that second half. I think the subs that we made really kind of messed up the game, messed up what very little we had.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll be somewhat full strength back next week. Hopefully,
Bertrand, it's Saturday.
So Bertrand will obviously be back because that was just a card.
Yeah.
I don't know what Kyle Walker was. Kyle Walker it's just a little knock, or was that?
It's a muscular injury, which could mean anything. Let's face it.
Hopefully that means nothing.
Well, Salisu's been out all season with a muscular injury, so let's hope it's not that.
Yeah. But you can't. The muscle that's injured there was the brain of whoever signed him.
Give it time. It's going to be a worldie. Here's a question for you, Jack. If Romeo's fit and Diallo's fit, who would you like to see start on Saturday?
Romeo.
Yeah, me too.
Just because he's the stronger, safer bet, and we know how well the team functions with him in it. And like you say, that it could be that linchpin that Ings and Shea are missing of having him in the ball in the middle of the park,
Right.
Doing that. Ralph did say the game style would change a little bit with Diallo coming in because they have to adapt to his game a little bit for him to get there. So it could be very, very different. But I mean, Romeo's probably only a couple of poor performances in a row away from Diallo taking that place. But then again, Romeo was so good before he went out. I don't really see that happening.
Yeah. What about this one? Diallo right back if Romeo is fit and Kyle Walker-Peters is not. Interesting thought.
It's not a bad thought. I mean, I'd rather see maybe Vokins or Valerie.
Yeah, you'd still rather see Vokins back there.
Yeah, over Romeo, over Diallo. Yeah, but of those options, I'd rather have Valerie playing that spot. I think Valerie, like I said, I don't think he had a bad game tonight.
No.
I think with Romeo on the pitch, he'd have even more cover going backwards.
Yeah, maybe, but certainly on that side. So they're just showing Arsenal's last 6 Premier League results: beat Chelsea, beat Brighton, beat West Brom, drew against Palace, beat Newcastle, and they've beaten us. And they're scoring goals.
That's the thing. Like, the other way to look at it is, well, we all laugh at Arsenal saying how out of form they are, but Lacazette does have more goals than Ings this season. I know Ings was out for a few, but Lacazette's been out as well.
Yeah.
So you do have, as much as we love Danny, you do have to look at it a little bit and be like, right, where are your goals coming from if they're not put for you on a plate? Because again, there was that free kick tonight it came into him and he got his leg on it, but he just stuck a leg out rather than trying to put any power on it.
Yeah.
I feel like that probably should have done something more there. Shea headed it a couple of times straight at the keeper. So you can argue there's not enough delivery from, but the past few games I think there have been more options for them going forward. But our best attacking options, have all been from midfielders and defenders recently. So you've got to ask questions for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why the romanticism of bringing Pele back is
on.
Still falling into me a little bit. At first, I was so against it, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, come on then.
Well, I put this comment up here because it's sort of alluding to the other question I had is, do you actually see us doing any business in the transfer window? I mean, without the idea of Pelez coming back.
We need people.
Yeah.
And as I said to you at the end of the game, Martin Semmers did that interview where he was talking about Ings' contract, and they said it's nothing to do with the money. It's about Danny doesn't want to talk about the contracts right now. He wants to concentrate on football. So you can take that as you want.
Yeah.
But if Southampton is saying it's not a money issue, I know that we've lost a lot of money, but there's still there's loans. Do you know what I mean? There's loans to buy. We need just some gaps filled.
Yeah.
For because you can't expect all these youth players to come and do it straight away. And and it was like we said, it was great to have Redmond back on the bench today. That was a good option, although he didn't come on and do anything really. But then again, he came onto a mess of a midfield.
Yeah, exactly. So there wasn't really any structure for him to work on. And Lou's already jumped in with something I was going to bring up. Brandon Williams would be definitely a nice acquisition on loan because he can play both left back and right back. I heard that deal was off because I think Ollie called it off, which
I think now I would like Brandon Williams too, but I think now that United are somewhat pushing for a title, I think they're going to need all the options that they can have, and I think now's not the time for them to offload.
No.
I mean, I know they got Tellez and they got Luke Shaw, so he is the third, but Luke Shaw gets injured, and Tellez, could get injured, so that's a position that they always need covering.
Yeah. Third choice left back. Oh, the dream of it.
Imagine,
Can you imagine?
Be crazy.
Yeah.
But
we almost played Fraser Forster in centre back position tonight with that shallow. It's ridiculous.
It is crazy, but yeah, what do we need? We need a. You say another centre back, but we've got two waiting, to come back into the team.
That's the fullback positions, isn't it?
Yeah, and if it wasn't for tonight's performance, Jack Stevens would have been pretty flawless for the past few months. So
yeah,
hard to put the blame there. I do honestly think a striker would be necessary, or maybe even we were talking to we had the Leicester channel. We were talking about Damari Gray, an attacking midfielder. He's a winger again. I think that would be good, a good position to look at if it's. But the problem with a January buy for me, it's something to help fix our season. And I feel like a Damari Gray is a long-term fixer-upper.
Right. Yeah. Bit of time.
It's a bit of a, for me, that's an August, that's a summer transfer window. I think right now we need something that's going to impact what we're doing. That's why I'm thinking more loans and loan to buy options.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's lots of comments here on TikTok saying Danny's head has turned. He'll be leaving. Stay calm. We're good. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not so.
We're gonna be okay.
My concern isn't about him leaving. It's about him just pulling his finger out and scoring some goals. He's here. He's here playing for us right now. The bigger concern is score some goals.
Yeah. He's contractually obliged to score goals. So, Danny, if you're watching,
if he doesn't score between now and the next transfer window, I'll be maybe saying some stuff about him leaving as well.
Oh dear. Well, apparently, Damari Gray, 2.5 million.
That'd be like a good option. But then again, it's how much is he being? How much are Leicester a big paying club? I know.
I think they have become that way. Well, I think everyone outside of us are a big playing club, which puts this question into doubt. I think it all depends on Theo Walcott. If we sign him in the summer, Theo Walcott will come if he's happy to take a 50% wage cut. That's it.
That is it.
That is simply it. If he's prepared to play football for 65, 70k a week instead of 150, and he thinks that actually it'd be a romantic time to finish his season is playing career at Southampton, then great. He might well do that.
Considering the way he was talking at the beginning of the season, and also other things that you've heard from again Martin Simmons and Ralph, that he's quite happy with the money. He understands the situation and he wants to be here. I think he's coming. I think it was a loan to a lot like Danny's loan to buy, where it's already somewhat of a done deal. We just have to.
Yeah.
I think it's already good to go, but it all just depends on Theo.
His mindset. Has he earned enough money in football to move to that?
And I'd happily keep him, but like we were saying, he needs to start pulling into shape a bit more, start playing on that wing a little bit more, becoming a bit more of a midfielder rather than just an attacker. That through ball that he absolutely whiffed to Shea Adams, who was on in goal like that. Like I feel like any other player in the team would have gotten that to him. Even Valerie today probably would have gotten that ball to him. And then there was that other attack where Valerie was running on the wing, or we could put it into Danny, and it was just a poor shot. So he just needs to be a bit less selfish, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, part of me thinks like, if you're earning 150k a week and you're sat on the bench somewhere, are you okay with that, or do you think actually I'd rather earn half that amount of money and play every week in the Premier League?
The other thing to keep in mind is that Theo hasn't played in front of a full St Mary's,
right?
And I can't imagine he would want to do this and not do that,
right? Yeah,
I think that you might not think about it, but I think that is something that will play in the thought of what he'll do. He's playing good football with a team that likes him, with a supporters group that really likes him. He just needs to play his football.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's got to be attractive, surely, just to play football rather than being sat on the bench behind someone. Dan's brought up a comment here. Should we be concerned about Bertrand being linked to Arsenal? What do you guys think? That's a football agent just throwing something into the hat just to try and negotiate a better deal with Bertrand.
You need to keep in mind Bertrand is also a Chelsea man.
Yeah, that didn't stop Willian or a few of the other players. But
Bertrand's got heart.
Yeah. Yes. He's commented on a few of our posts, actually. He's a good lad. I can't see him sitting on the bench around Thierry. Yep. I agree. I don't think there's any truth in that.
I don't think Bertrand would get as much football as he gets anywhere else that apart from Southampton. He is key to our team and we love him. Yeah. But I think it's funny that
we said that about Cedric though, didn't we? And look at now.
Yeah, but I didn't think that against Cedric. I thought Cedric would leave. I never really thought that. I don't think how I feel I do about Bertrand.
Yeah.
Bertrand is Cedric. How long has he been here now?
8 years.
8 years, and he's 30. How old is he? 32.
It's a bit more than that, I think. 34.
I don't. First of all, I don't think that's a deal that Arsenal would make. I don't think. I know that. I think it's a bit too different. I think they and also they've got the money to probably get somebody a bit more expensive and spend.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going anywhere. Again, I think it's the same as Danny. I think contracts are just waiting for the summer to see how we end the season, and we can negotiate from there. I honestly think that's the case.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. I always wonder, what have you got to do to turn your club into a big spending club? I mean, maybe it's up to us of marketing the fan base and getting more fans on board, buying more merch, and then suddenly we've got millions to spend on players.
Well, if they had shirts, if they had shirts that were readily available, maybe
on time,
some merch. Yeah, maybe
with the right sponsor on the front.
That's
absolutely.
How. But I think with the Hummel deal, who knows?
Exactly. That's what we got to do, people. We got to buy all the Hummel shirts. So that
all the Hummel shirts, every single one, for every player of the team. Everyone in this, everyone needs to get to the full 22-man squad.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Who knows? We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Well, let's not be too down ourselves. We've lost 3-1 to an informed Arsenal side that we also knocked out of the cup at the weekend. We've got a hugely depleted squad, and the players that came in didn't have a bad game at all. The only negatives I think we can really take from tonight is Prowsey didn't have a great game. Look at me losing my camera feed. Prowsey didn't have a particularly great game, and our front two aren't scoring the goals. So,
but let's be fair. Was that Prowsey's first bad game in maybe a year?
Yeah, he's played every one as well, hasn't he?
Let's be fair. He's played every game. So I would probably say since he's never been the problem in the team.
No.
So you can maybe give him a night.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks to everyone for joining us during the game and on the chat session. Thanks to everyone on TikTok. Thanks to everyone on YouTube. Thanks to everyone on Facebook, on Twitter, all the places. It's been fun. And as always, we march on. Jack, you up for the game on Saturday?
Of course I am. We ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah, we're going to be inside doing the game on Saturday. That's what we do. It's
the day I say no is when you should be concerned. If I say no during a lockdown, you got to question what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, thanks again. Remember to smash up that thumbs up button and subscribe if you aren't already. And we will see you in the next one. All right. See ya.